TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Elmer Horn with Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and we're here at one of our communities, and Sheriff Pounds is here with us. And Sheriff Pounds is very involved in his communities, and he come out. We brought out our grill and our smoker so we can come out and help cook for this community. And Sheriff Pounds himself has come out and helped cook with us, and he's here to cook and help these folks today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the programs that I call Taking My Community Back. If you don't get out there and get involved in your community, you ain't gonna be able to get it back. And the sad part about it, we losing our young men at such a pace that it's unreal. We got to come up with something that will help us with these children. Got to. So this is what I'm doing. I love it. I'm out here in the sun. It's hot, but like I said earlier, we're gonna do these until we get that gap between law enforcement and the community bridge. We're gonna bridge that gap because we're gonna get out of here, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna find out if they got any kind of problem we can assist them with, and invite them to the sheriff's office and come to the roll call. Just come see what's going on at the office. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Sheriff Pounds. And like I said, this is just one of many events that we bring this grill out to help with our communities and get involved. I'm here today at one of our community outreach days with our sound truck. And our sound truck is used for just what you see. We come out to community days, we play loud music, and be able to just have a good time with it and enjoy our community. Our sheriff's office, you get to see us in a little different light. We're not always out there writing tickets or locking people up. We come out to your community day and be a part of your day and help you celebrate your community. And this is just one of the ways that we can do that, was with our sound truck. We're here today in one of our communities. We brought our ice cream truck out. A lot of people like to laugh when I say the sheriff's office owns an ice cream truck, but this is exactly what it's for, is we bring it out to our communities. We give away ice cream. We don't charge for the ice cream. The ice cream is free. And we have partners in our businesses in our community that help pay for the ice cream so that we can give it away for free. And we give it away. We go to schools. This is just one of many events that we bring our ice cream truck to. We go to the school systems. We come out to community days, block parties. We just come out and see you and help you enjoy and celebrate your community. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dynasty. Welcome to TV 1061. Join our network and broadcast your event live across the continent. Come to our studio and film and stream your talk show, sitcom, showcase, and broadcast it worldwide. Combine multimedia with your live stream. Independent filmmakers, show your movie and afterwards interview your cast live. Sponsors, advertisers, I'm talking to you. This is your chance for global exposure. These are very exciting times we live in. Traditional TV is all but a thing of the past. TV 1061 is now on the Roku platform with a viewership of 46 million and counting. Roku is an industry leader on internet TV. It is the most popular and fastest growing internet TV platform. If you are interested in developing and streaming your own show or movie, or coming in as a sponsor or an advertiser, please send your contact information with a short description of your interest to 1061tv@gmail.com. Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to Your Real Estate Tea, where we teach you so you can become educated to achieve. I'm Andrea Farley, real estate broker with Maximum One Realtor Partners. On this show today, we will be sharing information regarding appraisals and how it impacts the real estate market, information for buyers and sellers, and what's on the contract regarding appraisals. So maybe you've been thinking of selling or buying a home. Have you asked yourself, what is your home really worth? Have you asked yourself, well, what is the value of the home that I'm about to purchase? You will want to definitely tune into today's show. Now, again, we are still feeling all of the effects of 2020. 2020 has definitely caused us to reevaluate the benefits of home ownership. Maybe it's to achieve wealth. Maybe it's for more space. Maybe you need outdoor space. You want a school district, a home office, or a virtual learning center, or spaces in your home. So I do have a guest today who is an appraiser who will give us some insight on what buyers and sellers need to know regarding appraisals. So let's just take a quick look at the appraisal contingency, or let's speak on that really quickly. And what does that mean? And so for FHA loans, we did touch on appraisals 2 weeks ago, so you want to definitely catch that show, where we talked about how when you get an FHA loan, the lender will base what they loan you on that appraisal. And so in the exhibit for FHA, it automatically states that the buyer cannot borrow more than what the value of the home is. And so if you do find yourself in a scenario where the home appraises for more than what you guys have agreed upon for your sales price, it's automatically in that contract. Either the seller has to agree to reduce it, or you can come up with that difference. But again, that money will not come from the lender. Now, let's talk about the conventional loan exhibit. And that has an appraisal contingency in there as well. So for buyers, you definitely want to put some time in there for an appraisal contingency. Do not have that as zero. Do not leave it blank. Okay, that definitely will put you at a disadvantage, because if you leave it blank or put zero, there is a high probability that you will be stuck paying for a home that maybe, you may not be able to afford. So it just puts you in a really tight position. If the home appraises for less than the sales price, and there could be a $10,000 difference, because guess what, guys? What are the trends that you're seeing right now? Home prices are going way up. And so a lot of times sellers are overpricing their homes based on the market value. Well, hopefully your agent is looking at what the market value truly is. And so if you don't have yourself covered for that appraisal contingency, you could lose out on the deal, or you could end up having to pay a whole lot more money than you anticipated. So today, let's have some questions answered. I have a guest today. His name is Gordia Ammons with MBA Appraisals Incorporated. And so, Gordia, I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Just fine.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for taking time to join us today. And so I want to just start by asking you, how long have you been appraising?
Well, officially it'll be 22 years next month.
Okay.
My background, I started out as a paramedic and was going to do this as a part-time business, and fell in love with it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. So what do you most like about being an appraiser?
The appraisal side is more of an analytical. Well, let me go back. first of all, the appraisal is a combination of science and art. The art is the analysis, and the science is the analysis, and the art is the picture we paint for the lenders, for the buyers, and the sellers. So we take a combination of the data and put together a picture that will explain to the homeowner or the lender what their property is worth and why, in our opinion.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I know that you definitely have a love and a passion for what you do when you can relate it to art, because at least for me, in my opinion, I kind of do the same thing. And so let me ask you this, Gordia. Are you a licensed appraiser? Are you certified? Which criteria do you fall under?
I hold a certified general license with the state.
Okay.
A certified general appraisal is the highest level given out nationally.
Okay.
And I appraise both commercial and residential property.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. That is awesome. Now, do you have any designations?
No, I don't. I'm not a designated MAI or SRA or an IFA.
Okay.
I am a former vice president of the National Society of Real Estate Appraisals.
Oh, okay.
Which is a black organization of appraisals that in the Metro Atlanta area, we are the sister organization to Empire Board.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's in Atlanta.
Okay.
And just a little bit of history about the appraisal industry. We've only had actual licensing and certifications as of 1989. When the SNL crisis came into effect, the federal government came in and they started the licensing process. Prior to that, it was organizations like the Appraisal Institute, MESRA, ASA, that they had their own quote-unquote designation. But the federal government came in and set up a actual licensing system nationwide.
Okay. Wow. No, I didn't know that. So that's great to know. And so I know that you said that so appraisers just kind of came in like kind of newly. So what I guess maybe happened as a result of why it took so long to maybe get that organization started?
Well, as I said before, you had different groups that were doing their own process of licensing. And during the SNL crisis, like in the housing bubble we had back in 2007, the federal government came in and looked at the training and those things. So what they did in '89 was set up the actual Appraisal Foundation and set standards for appraisals, not just in Atlanta or Georgia, but nationwide.
Okay.
And actually in 2015, they actually set up now the test that they're giving out for appraisals are a national standard test.
Okay. That's great to know, because as like compared to a home inspector, you don't have to have any type of certification. You don't have to have that. So definitely appraisers should, to me, I think both should have some type of standard and criteria to be able to follow, and guidelines as well. So that's great to know that it's been streamlined and they've set different standards in place. So because home values are, they really have a huge impact on wealth that's created, equity in people's houses. But we'll get to that a little bit later. And so now, does every appraiser have to have access or be a member of the local MLS?
We have to, well, I won't say you have to, but
okay.
In order for you to do your job, you need to have access to MLS or FMLS.
Okay.
In the Metro Atlanta area, to me, MLS is the more predominant used system.
Okay.
If you're doing properties in north of 20, you will find some sales in FMLS that are not in MLS, but they are both good systems that appraisals utilize. Back before the housing bubble burst, you would have a lot of people doing for sale by owners or investors in certain markets, and they were doing sales that we would consider as non-arm's length transactions. And what I mean by that is you will have a person, a seller, that's working with the buyer to make a deal work that benefits both of them, but it's not market value driven.
Right.
You have those inflated value situations. So as an appraiser today, utilizing MLS and FMLS, it gives us an idea of what the real market is of property that's actually being advertised and listed on those data sources for everyone to see.
Okay. Right. That's great. And being though you went in and expounded on the benefits of it, I'm sure that you are members of both MLS and FMLS. Is that correct?
Yes, we have both of those services. Yes.
That's great. That I'm sure that allows you to be more efficient in what you do.
Right.
Okay.
And one thing about it, as an appraiser, it's a snapshot in time. And MLS and FMLS, they both try to keep their systems updated. So as sales come in, we will get a chance to see those sales. And what we do with the newer sales, we try to verify them through talking to agents or looking at the county clerk's information on gsccca.org to verify those sales.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. And so let me ask you this. What is your fee for completing an appraisal?
Well, our fees vary, but our standard fee for a single-family home around 4,000 square feet or below is $450.
Okay.
And this day and time, we may have a turn time of 7 business days to sometimes 2 weeks, depending on what we have going on.
Okay.
As you stated earlier, this is a very busy time, and COVID has put a spin on how we do our research and even some of our appraisals. Right now, some appraisers are only doing exterior only because of the safety issues with the COVID crisis.
Wow.
So that takes a little bit longer for us to verify the interior of a property and doing our research on that end there.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting to know. And I'm curious to know, is there a significant impact on now how you have to do your appraisals, being as though because you're restricted by maybe not entering someone's home, you can't physically, or some appraisers won't physically go in. How does that, in your opinion, how does that impact the appraisals?
For me, well, like I said, I used to be a paramedic, so I'm used to what we call scene safety. And wearing the mask and gloves, I'm used to that as a medic.
Right.
Unfortunately, I did contract COVID, but it wasn't from a work-related situation. It was actually being around families. So what an appraiser will do now, we will contact the homeowner or the agent and let them know when we're coming to the property. We let them know that we have no symptoms at this time of COVID, and we ask them the same questions.
Okay.
We would like, if possible, the house to be empty or as little, the less amount of people in the house as possible to avoid exposure.
Right.
One thing that I would say for me, I don't spend as much time in a property when someone is there as I normally would.
Okay.
Because of this exposure situation, just being precautionary for both parties.
Right. Makes sense. Okay. Well, we are going to take a brief intermission and we will be right back. So stay tuned for more questions and answers from a certified home appraiser.
Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? Do you have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to your Real Estate Tea, again where we teach you so you can become educated to achieve. So we're going to continue our question and answers with Gordia. He is a certified appraiser. And so Gordia, what can a homeowner do or a seller to assist the appraiser with the appraisal?
Okay, that's a good question. Like I said, with everything going on with COVID, if a seller or a homeowner can provide a list when we come to the property of renovations, under the appraisal guidelines and doing FHA, conventional, or a VA, we're required to note renovation. And if a homeowner can provide us with the list of those renovations and the time in which those renovations were done, we can note those in the appraisal report. Okay. Now, one thing about renovations, people need to understand, especially in this current market, the cost of renovations, you're not going to get a dollar per dollar valuation. It's based upon our analysis of the data. whether or not what kind of value you receive for those upgrades.
Okay.
And sometimes people will tend to do things that they like, but the average buyer may not like.
Yep, that happens a lot. Yeah.
Prime example, having a pool. Some people will love a pool, and some people will be like, no, the liability is not for me. So, those things there. And as an appraiser, we don't look at the emotional side of things. We look at the actual numbers of things. And that's when we have our little gray areas when we're dealing with people, because they may do a beautiful renovation or an addition, and because that addition is special to them, they may feel that it's worth X amount of dollars more than what we feel.
Right.
But as an appraiser, we can't look at the emotional side. We look at the factors as far as what someone will pay for, what you do with your property.
Gotcha. Okay. And just to kind of piggyback off of that, I know a lot of people, homeowners, we're emotional people, especially when it comes to our home. And so let me ask you this, Gordia, what are some renovations that homeowners do that actually have a true impact on the value?
Well, of course, upgrading the kitchen and bathrooms, that's a plus.
Okay.
When we're looking at appraisals, we look at, like I said, the kitchen and bath, those are the first things. And even in our appraisal reports, we note in those appraisals for lenders, renovations to those particular areas, if it's been the last 6 months, 1 to 5 years, 6 to 10, 10 to 15. And this is actually noted in our appraisal report for those particular situations, the bathroom and the kitchen.
Okay.
Upgrading your HVAC system, you may not get a dollar for dollar for that, but it's a good selling ploy, because if you have a zone system in your home is more energy efficient, which will bring about a lower utility bill. And those things will help sell the house, because over time you will reap the benefits of that system.
Okay.
We're now also looking at the what do I call it? The resurgence of the solar panels now.
Okay, right.
I can recall 15 years ago, the price of putting solar panels in, it wasn't worth, because you wouldn't recoup that money. But now they have systems now that are much cheaper, and also you can sell back the electricity to the Georgia Power, or I think it's Greystone. So those things help a homeowner out, as well as a good selling ploy.
Okay. Okay. Well, you guys, definitely take note. Swimming pools are probably not going to increase your equity, or home value, rather, because there is a cost to maintaining that pool. But as Gordia mentioned, definitely kitchens and bathrooms. Those are typically the sellers of a home anyway. And so, Gordia, what? Go ahead.
Go ahead. One thing I wanted to say, and I'm not trying to be sexist here, but master bathrooms and closets can make or break a deal on a house for a home buyer.
That is very true. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think now today, with people being home more, I would 2,000% agree with you on that. It's always been important, but absolutely, definitely very important these days. And so, what do you consider, or let me ask you this, how do you come up with your valuation? What do you look for to get the home's value?
Okay, what we typically do, let's go from the beginning process. We get the order comes in from our lender, our client. We would do a preliminary search for comparables. based upon like with the purchase deal, we can go on MLS and look at what agents have placed on MLS, including interior photos of a property.
Okay.
To give us an idea of that house condition.
Mm-hmm.
And once we come to the property, what we do with MBA Appraisal Services, we do an interior inspection first.
Okay.
We don't like to track dirt or mud into someone's home.
Okay.
So we do an interior inspection first. I try to have the homeowners just sit back and relax so I can walk the house like I normally do. What I call is triaging a house. Like I said, I used to be a medic.
Right.
And when I triage it, I have a system where I walk directly through your house and I take about 60 pictures of your house. Now, with that being said, we are different than a home inspector.
Right.
A home inspector does a more thorough investigation of your property.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the electrical, the heating and air, the plumbing, the whole 9 yards. We do what's called a readily observable item inspection.
Okay.
We look at the things in your house. Now, on an FHA or VA, we will check your HVAC system depending on the temperature. If it's 30 degrees outside, I'm not cutting your AC on.
Mm-hmm.
If it's 80 degrees outside, I'm not cutting your heater on. But I'm going to check to make sure your lights are working. I'm going to check to make sure your water's on and you have adequate pressure. But we are not on the same level as a home inspector.
Okay.
Anyone buying a house, I don't care if it's a brand new house, please get you a home inspection done.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Because
Absolutely.
everyone right now is busy, even the county inspectors, and they may miss something. So if you bring your own inspector in there, he will do a thorough job to make sure your house is up to standards.
Right.
And as an appraisal, we can review that home inspection to let us know things that we've missed
Mm-hmm.
in our inspection.
Right, right. Yep. And guys, that's something that I talked about 2 weeks ago. Although the inspection is not mandatory, is definitely, as Gordia mentioned, you definitely want to do it because the inspection determines the condition, the appraisal determines the value and what the lender will loan.
Right. Now, back to the appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
Once we do our interior inspection, we do our exterior inspection where we measure your house. We measure the patio, we measure the porches, we measure any outdoor storage facilities, anything like that there, and note that in our report. Once we get back to the office, that's when we start our analysis and data collection.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We will go ahead and pull comparables, and in Georgia, people need to understand this. This is very important. As an appraiser, I have to look at your subdivision first.
Right.
Some people think that you can go anywhere to find comparables, and under Georgia law, I am required to look at your subdivision first, then a 1 mile radius.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to expand the area, or even if I use comparables outside of your subdivision, but within that 1 mile, I have to explain the reasoning for that variance.
Okay.
Because just like in everyone talks about real estate, location.
Mm-hmm.
That is very important to us as an appraiser because we're looking at an area and we analyze the economics as well because, prime example, certain neighborhoods you're in a better school district or the income is higher. Whereas if we may go 3 blocks down the road or 3 miles down the road, we're in a whole different school system, a whole different demographics, economic, and it will change those values.
Right. Okay.
So those are things that we have to analyze to figure out where we're going to fall in at with our valuation and why.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for that information on explaining the process and what you guys look at. So let me ask you this. You know, we know that there are definitely some gaps when it comes to home ownership, in which we could talk probably hours on that. Gordia, are you seeing appraisals in minority communities like declining? And if so, why do you think that is?
Well, right now, every area is appreciating. It's just that in minority areas, it's not as high as the predominant areas.
Okay.
And one of those factors with that is in minority areas, homes are not sold as often. The typical homeowner in a minority area, they may stay in the house 20 years.
Okay.
So if you don't have that many sales, you're not going to have that rapid appreciation. Where you're in an area where you're having sales every 5 to 7 years, people are moving up and upgrading.
Okay. All right.
So
that's an interesting, perspective and something to think about. Again, we could delve into a whole different topic regarding that. But
I'm glad to come back anytime.
Absolutely, you will definitely have to come back. And so, guys, that will be all for today for our questions and answers regarding appraisals. And I was thinking maybe there was one more question I wanted to ask, but we could save that for later. So, guys, if you do have any questions, something that you want clarity on, something we didn't go over, please definitely email me at afarleyrealtor@gmail.com. And if you want to donate to this show, Your Real Estate Tea, the Cash App is $DREADAY 511. And so let's go over the live streams on this station on TV 1061. On Tuesdays at 12:30, it is Your Real Estate Tea. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. is the Flavor. At 9:30 p.m. on Wednesday is the Playlist. On Friday at 7 p.m. is the Life Lounge. Saturday at 3:30 is the Conversation. Saturday at 5 p.m. is the Bedroom Chronicles. And Sunday at 4:30 is the Talk Show Divas. So, the executive producer is Felix Washington, and the social media director is Shantae Barksdale. The Cash App for TV 1061 is $TV 1061. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. Have a blessed day, everyone.